What's up, YouTube family? It's been a whole long time. How you guys doing? I missed you guys so much. It's been a whole long time, and I've been so busy with work. And now, as so I've called up the strike, so I'm definitely back to school and the whole assignment, hustle and bustle. Everybody's running up and down, trying to meet up with the semester and everything. So I've been a little busy, but yeah, I am today to give you guys some awesome tips. So today's video is going to be super interesting and it's something that you really gain from. But first, I want to plead with you. It's like the middle of the night and I have to make this video because this is the only time my house and my hostel environment is really calm, and it's a whole lot of things for me. I have lots of assignments, I have lots of things from work to do, but here I am making this video for you, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, drop for me a comment or give me a thumbs up. I'll be super glad and really appreciate it. You guys show me some love because it's really not easy or more. But then I got you guys, my YouTube fans. I want to say thank you for your support so far. So the major reason I decided to shoot this video is because I've been doing a lot of research, and then I get a lot of people say a lot of things like, okay, I'm ashamed of doing this in the university, maybe because of what people will say. And I discovered that a lot of adulthood low self-esteem actually was fueled from their university days. The tip I'm going to be sharing in this video is going to help you not just for your university but a whole lot, like a whole long time, like when you're out of school, even when you're married, and when you get to places of high regards. These are tips that will definitely help you in the long run. So I want you guys to sit, relax, take a glass of cold water, and when we get back, I'm going to feed you lots of useful information. Welcome back, YouTube besties. Welcome back. So we are going to jump straight into the tips. Like I said before, there are a lot of things I discovered that students are ashamed of, and I thought like this is the right time to give this video, especially now that they just called up the ASU strike and the pressure is getting worse. I can say a whole lot of things, and I feel this is the best time to say this kind of things to people to ease their mind, to calm their soul, and reduce them from the competition and the race. Without wasting much time, I'm going to jump straight into it. Now, the first thing that you need to know, the first thing that is on my list that you should not be ashamed of in university is taking the bus. So I figure that most students usually hate themselves or feel less of a student, or more like the low class student, because you're taking the bus or the cheap kind of taxi in school. So in my school, University of Benin, we have two transport system. We have the cab that usually takes students around for 150 naira. Then we have the shuttle buses that usually carry people for 40 naira, but they usually just take 15 naira because they don't used to always have 10 naira change. So basically, I see a lot of people feel like, okay, because I'm the one using cab, I'm more richer than the person that is using bus and all. So I feel a lot of students tend to be ashamed of using the shuttle buses. And let me tell you a quick story. When I first came into the University of Benin, that first time, like it's not like I really had too many money, but then I really liked my comfort, and if I have the money, I usually like spending it. So I usually just take, maybe outside school I take boat, and within school I usually use carbon or more. When Sapa hits me, I reconstruct. I started using the shuttle buses, and there are days I use the normal taxi, the normal comfortable taxi, and I pay. When there are days I also use the shuttle buses. And the point is, you shouldn't feel ashamed of using the bus. Like it was meant for people. You are not different from the person that is using the cab, or you using the cab, you are not different from the person that is inside the bus. The truth is, everybody and their own kind of pocket. Seriously, it depends on the kind of money you have at that point in time. For me, some days that I'm not really having much, I tend to just use the bus and save my money. And if it's just like a walkable distance, why not? You don't really have to go overboard to make people feel like, okay, I have money or I'm very comfortable. If it's not really something you can do at that point, you don't need to be ashamed of entering the bus. I know sometimes the bus can be very uncomfortable, but yeah, the school system is already arranged to make us very uncomfortable. So it's not really bad if you don't have the money for it and you decide to go for a cheaper option. That's not something you should be ashamed of. Let's move to the second thing. Now, the second thing you shouldn't be ashamed of as a student is using an Android phone. Yeah, I see a lot of persons feel like, okay, they are usually very shy to bring out their phone in presence of their friends. Maybe their friends are using the big iPhones and all, and they are very ashamed of like bringing out their phone, and they usually just hide their head. And I don't really get. Seriously, I feel there's no difference between the person using the iPhone and the person using the Android. Depends on the function. Seriously, you using the Android, you can do a whole lot of things, and they using the iPhone, they can do a whole lot of things. So seriously, there are certain things, certain principles I've used in my life up to this point, and it's the fact that something I can't really afford right now, it's only a matter of time I can't then I will be able to afford it. So I don't really beat myself up over things that I know right now it's not like a priority or a necessity. If you are saving up to buy an iPhone and you don't really have a good source of income, seriously, that's being foolish to me. So I feel students should not be ashamed of. You shouldn't be ashamed of using an Android phone. You should own it. Seriously, it's some of them that are using those iPhones that you are like envying. You don't know what they've done to get that phone, especially now that they just call it this strike. I know a whole lot of students will be like, now I'm not a hot babe, I'm not using the latest iPhone, or I'm not using the latest gadgets and all. Use your Android in peace. A lot of them have gone overboard. They have done a whole lot of terrible things for them to get this kind of iPhone. Or sometimes, are you not shocked that somebody that is not even working or doesn't have a good business or doesn't come from a wealthy home is using like the latest version of iPhone? Okay, let's say some of them were gifted or anything. Like me, mine was given to me by my sister. I didn't really buy it. So it's apart from those certain reasons, you shouldn't be envious of somebody that is using an iPhone or feel ashamed for using your Android, because you don't really know the source of it. If you are doing a legit hustle, you should be proud that you own something. If you actually bought your iPhone or your parents bought it for you, you should be proud that at least you are able to afford something. A lot of people want that phone, that Android phone that you're looking so cheap and all, but they didn't get it. So that's one reason why you should be happy and proud of the little wins you get. So the third thing we're going to be talking about right here is dressing. You shouldn't be ashamed of wearing a simple cloth to school. I really don't get why. Seriously, I see a lot of students tell me, okay, I didn't go to class today because, okay, I don't have good clothes or something. That's, what should I call it? Is it inferiority complex? Okay, let's say low self-esteem. Because why would you feel like your clothes are bad because you are trying to compare yourself with others? Seriously, I really feel until I have enough money, that a time will come that I will go to boutique and I will buy things, and I would have to feel okay and think about, okay, my bank account, because then I will have enough money. But until then, why stress myself? Like, I'm just in the university, I'm still trying to figure out life. Why would I be spending so much? I see some students being ashamed of themselves, of what they wear, being too conscious about what they wear because, okay, maybe their classmate told them they bought a particular dress they wore to class for 15,000, or from one of those Instagram vendors or more. Do the one where your power reach. Don't do more than yourself. I say, love, please don't do more than yourself. This university, school life, and everything, it's not a competition. We're only here to learn and learn a whole lot of things. So don't put yourself on too many pressure trying to meet up, trying to fit in, trying to look extravagant. If you have just t-shirt and jean, you can wear it and you're also looking good. Seriously, this kind of dressing, it's also very nice. This is also very nice. So it depends on what you can afford. If you can afford this, fine. If you can afford looking the extravagant and everything, fine. But if you can afford this, it's still very okay. You don't have to kill yourself, you don't have to stress yourself. Looking simple, it's also very gorgeous. Let me tell you a secret. For me, I literally prefer going to buy clothes from thrift. And I know a lot of persons feel like, thrift is this, thrift is that, but seriously, there are some clothes I've seen from thrift. wears that you won't even see in the boutique. They are so elegant and they are so nice. So if your budget, if you can't really, if your budget is not up to the boutique standard, like me, go for thrift. Spray your perfume very well, comb your hair and look neat and nice, and get ready to for your classes. Get ready to live the life you want to. You don't really need to look extravagant to look expensive or classy. So without dwelling too much in that factor, so the number 14 I want to talk about here, number 14, you should not be ashamed of in university. This one specifically for the boys. Don't be ashamed of not owning a car yet. Like the way the pressure now is getting worse. I see a lot of guys so ashamed to talk in the front of their mates because okay, maybe some of their friends during the whole 8 month strike, or they now have cars and they're not telling you, I bought this car, I give my girlfriend 150,000 every month, or I now started building my house, or I'm building house for my mom. Please don't put yourself on too many pressure. Like I said before, you don't know the kind of things they've indulged in, the kind of things they've done to get those things. So you don't really need to stress yourself over anything. It's best you are legitimately hustling and you are having the little stuff now, and later you know that you get it, than for you to put yourself on so many stress. A lot of guys be like, my guys are not having GLK, they're not having Range Rovers, okay, Benz and everything, and then you are ashamed of going to class because you're ashamed of entering buses, you're ashamed of just living your life normal. Please, you don't need to be ashamed of it. I don't even know who made it a standard that okay, when you're in the university you need to own a car. Seriously, we are still trying to figure out our life. If you look deeply at those people that already own a car, I'm not saying owning a car in the university is a wrong thing, but if you look deeply, if you dig deeply, some of those guys that already own cars, their hustle is not clean. And it's definitely not all, because I've seen a guy in school, like it's really well done, and you can see that he's legitimately hustling. But seriously, some of them, their hustle is not pure. So you don't really need to be ashamed. My guy, go on with your normal life. You don't have anybody you need to please. With time, you definitely get whatever you want in life. So like I said, you don't need to stress yourself. Everybody came to this life one by one, so we don't have anybody we are trying to please. We're not in competition with anybody. So calm down, take a chill pill and live your life, because you don't have double life. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is about your religion or your belief. I see a lot of students feel ashamed of being called a Christian, or when we say spirit cocoa. I really feel you don't need to be ashamed of your belief. I see them try to fit in and try to reduce their standards or their beliefs, and because of people and what people will say, they don't want to be identified as the spirit cocoa or the over spiritual kind of person. I really think that's not something anybody should be ashamed of. When you are in school, if you are the kind of person that have a very strong belief system on the way you were brought up and everything, you don't really need to lower your standards for anybody or because of what anybody is trying to tell you. We all grew up in different kind of homes and we're all taught different kind of things, so don't let anybody's kind of opinion about the way they were brought up rub off on you. You all be firm with your belief, be firm with what you know, be firm with what you've been taught, be firm with what you believe in, because in the end that's all that matters. Nobody has a right over your belief. When you are firm with your belief, that's like the number one thing that will help you in life, not just in the university space. When you are out of the university, a lot of contradicting words will come to you, but then be strong with what you believe. Let people call you spirit cocoa, let people say you go to church too much, let people call you Christian sister and everything, but then you know what you are, you know your true identity, and I really think that's all that matters, you not what people try to say about you. Now the number 6 thing we're going to be talking about, it's your hair. Now I see a lot of students say that okay, I'm ashamed of going to class because I didn't make my hair is rough. Like, why should you be ashamed of going to class because your hair is rough? There are days that my hair is really rough, and I have wigs, but then I really do not feel like wearing them. I weave my hair neatly and I go to class. It doesn't make me less of a person or less of any kind of, doesn't make me less of a girl or less of myself. A lot of students put themselves on too many pressure trying to fit in, especially now that the ASU strike just called off. Now you're seeing a whole lot of things. You're seeing people with 36 inches bone straight and all, but the truth is, there are people that have natural beauty. Like the way I used to tell my bestie, I used to tell her that, see, it's God that gives beauty, it's not man. So even if you decide to wear all the hairs in this life, if if you're not beautiful, you are not beautiful. See, there are some girls that will just weave their hair, do simple cornrow or back weaving, and then put just lip gloss and they go out, they are looking beautiful. So if you don't have one to make hair, why go and kill yourself? Why go and stress yourself out? Why say, oh, I'm not fine enough or I'm not beautiful, I have to stay at home today or anything? Weave your hair, get a good perfume, smell good, dress neat, and go to wherever you're going to, go to classes, and love yourself. Be firm with your identity, own your life, because at the end it's just you're the one that own your life. So be firm and be confident. The truth is, beauty is not really about the hair you wear, it's not about the clothes and how you look. Beauty has to do with how you carry yourself as a lady, your prestige, the way you carry yourself, the charisma, the way you smile, the way you place yourself before people. That's how people tell you you are beautiful. Yeah, we are not ignoring the fact that there's something we call natural beauty. When you see them, they are looking all fine and all, but seriously, I really would like to attribute beauty to character and self-courage. So even if you don't have money, the way you carry yourself, the way you place your hair and everything will make you look beautiful. Sorry for the background noise. So my neighbors are coming out of their houses. The way you place yourself will make you even more beautiful than those girls that are even carrying the bone straight. So you really need to love yourself and be sure of your identity as a lady. Okay, without wasting much time, the number 7th thing I would really like to talk about, I see a lot of people being ashamed of where they stay. So I want to tell you guys that please do not be ashamed of where you stay. That's the number 7th point I'm going to give you. Do not be ashamed of where you stay. So prior to now, okay, when I got into the University of Benin, I wasn't really having enough money to have an apartment of my own. So I had to get a roommate, and it was just a small place, just a small house, and then we usually just have our beds on the floor because we didn't have bed stand and all. But then, was I ashamed of myself? No, you won't remain in that place forever. So why feel ashamed of being who you want to be? I see a lot of people living fake lives. They get a hostel and then they have to go and stay with somebody squatting because they want to live the big girl life, they want to be called the big girl or the big boy. I really feel it's so uncalled for. When I stayed in my former place, it wasn't really nice, wasn't really all that luxurious, and then I literally have to sleep on the floor, my bed on the floor. So did I hate myself, or was I less of a person then? No. The truth is, that was then and now is now. So situations can change. So don't be ashamed of where you stay. I see a lot of persons be like, you tell them, okay, let me come and visit you, and they be like, don't come and visit me, because they're ashamed of where they stay. They don't want to tell you, okay, I'm squatting with somebody, or maybe I'm staying in a one room apartment. The truth is, you are so privileged. There are a lot of people that would give anything to be in your position. So you don't need to be ashamed. See, you have nothing to prove to anybody. You have nothing to showcase to anybody. It's literally low self-esteem for you to feel like, okay, I have to be in a certain position for people to respect me, or people to love me, or people to appreciate me. No, especially when you stay as a student in school, that place you are staying, it's not a permanent location for you. Things can change. You can get your own apartment, you will leave the 4 walls of school and you live a better life. So that's enough validation for you to know that you should not be ashamed of that place. Exactly. Everybody had a story to tell. So right now I'm in a better place and I'm grateful to God. But then that was my story. Did I remain there? No. Was I ashamed of myself then? No. Because I know it's not going to be permanent. So that, I think that's one of the major things killing a lot of students. This whole, I want to be luxurious. Everything is step by step. You don't just give birth to a child and then the child just start working. There are steps, there are procedures. So there are some certain phase in your life you are going to go through. It's all for testimonies, it's all for you to look back onto and give God glory. So that's the point. 18, you don't need to be ashamed of in school is carryovers. Yeah, I see a whole lot of persons beat themselves up over carryovers and all. They hate themselves. They are so ashamed to talk to their classmates because maybe they fear people will feel like, oh, they are not intelligent and all. Calm down. The truth is, no one really cares. So don't kill yourself. You just have to work harder. A lot of persons be like, oh, I'm going to write exam, let's say maybe you're in 400 level and you have carryover in like 200 level and you've not been able to clear it, and then you feel less of yourself, like, okay, I'm going to be writing exams with 200 level, like they'll look down on me and anything. I want to tell you that the school environment, basically, it's a training ground. And apart from it being a training ground, we are just here for a particular reason. Once we're done with this reason, we all see ourselves later in the future, hopefully. So when I got into the University of Benin, I wasn't fully a student here because I was still in another school in my Polytechnic in Petroleum Training Institute. And then it just happened that both exams had to clash, and then I had a whole lot of carryover over here because I had to miss the papers, and then I had to rewrite it. So did I feel bad? So honestly, I did feel bad because sometimes I go to write papers, I just feel like this is not me because I've never really had carryovers before. So it just feel like this is not me. It didn't feel right, but then I had to do what I had to do because it's my life. So that's the thing I'm trying to tell you. You shouldn't give a damn about what people think about you. It's your life, your decision. So live it the way you want to. Don't be ashamed of it. If you have a carryover, all you just need to do is work harder and ensure you are getting better at what you do. You don't need to kill yourself or hate yourself or feel less of a person or let people's words get to you and everything. So we're not going to waste any more time. We have 2 more tips to go. Now the number 9th thing you should not be ashamed of in school is still depending on your parents. Don't mind them. Those people telling you that they are independent women, they run 6 businesses in school, they don't even call their parents for money. Those people that tell you, oh, my boyfriend gives me 150k, 2 million a month, this, that, I'm a big girl and everything. Don't mind them. Oh, you should not be ashamed of depending on your parents. Yeah, they are your parents. If your parents are okay and they want to take responsibility and they are taking care of you, please don't be ashamed of calling them for more. Don't put yourself on too many pressure. Take it one step at a time. You are seeing the university, enjoy it now, because when you get out, all man for himself. So if your parents are okay and they are willing to take care of you, don't be ashamed of, don't try to put yourself under pressure and be like, okay, because this my friend is doing business and she doesn't really call her parents for money, I have to do the same. Calm down. Be calming down. Take it one step at a time. You should not be ashamed of depending on your parents, or maybe you're not the kind of business person and you're seeing all your friends do business and you're feeling less of yourself, like, I should be doing something so I'll be independent, or look at my friend is not calling their parents for money. While it's good to be independent, while it's good to start up something for yourself, not everybody still is a business kind of person. So just take it easy. If you're not that kind of person, then calm down. Call your parents for money and allow them to take care of you. If you get the leading to start a business and do things on your own and get little assistance from them, fine. But don't put yourself under that kind of pressure, and don't mind those people telling you, oh, my boyfriend is giving me 200 million every month. You see anybody their boyfriend is giving them 200 million every month? I don't believe that, child, but okay, let's just say a lot of people say a lot of things, but I didn't get this one though. I'm just exaggerating. But let's say they are telling you, oh, I'm a big girl, I buy this, I buy that, and I don't depend on my parents. Calm down. You don't really need all of those. Some of them don't really have parents that can really take care of them, so they have to depend on their boyfriends and everything. So, well, if you are the kind of person that don't want to, fine. But if your parents are okay and they can take care of you, don't feel ashamed of collecting money from them or feel like, I'm not doing well for myself because look at my mates are not collecting money from their parents. You are just stressing yourself and stressing your mental health. Now this is the 10th tip I'm going to be giving to you guys. Before I give this tip, I want to tell you that please and please, if you stayed up to this point and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I will soon start crying here like this. I will just put my cap wig and start crying for you. Please and please support my channel by clicking the subscribe button. Like, it really wouldn't take you a whole lot. Just click the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up or share your thoughts with me in the comment section. So let's continue. I like the 10th thing you shouldn't be ashamed of. This tip is, I think this tip is like, this should be like number 1. Okay, it's not being in a relationship. Yeah, I see a lot of people just tend to have this obscure feeling and attitude with not being in a relationship and hating themselves, or just being ashamed, like maybe they are not worthy of love or something. Please calm down. The truth is, you don't need to be ashamed of not being in a relationship in school. It's, if the love comes, if you feel like, or you fell in love, it's fine. But then if it's not there, you don't need to force anything. You don't need to be ashamed that, okay, everybody is dating and everybody's strolling with their boyfriends late in the evenings and everything, holding hands, being all lovey and cuddly and everything, and you're like, God, when? No. Please calm down. It's not, you don't really need to be ashamed of not being in a relationship. You don't need to try to fit in, and maybe because you're seeing everybody being all lovey cuddly with their boyfriends and their boo and everything, and you are putting yourself on too many aggressive pressure, like the pressure, because you want to fit in, you want to still have that kind of feeling. Just calm down. You don't need to be ashamed of it. You don't need to, just live your life. Some people get their own special kind of love after they are graduated and everything. So just calm down. Everything will work for good and everything will come into place for you. For me, I'm perfectly fine with not dating anybody in school. I really do not like school love, school boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. For me, like me. So I really like older men more, but that's a story for another day. So that'll be all for this YouTube video. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to share your thoughts with me in the comment section. I'll really appreciate it. And then you could give me a thumbs up and like, share this video to your friends, recommend me. As you can see, I told you I woke up late in the night to shoot this video, so please, I'm begging you, if you want me to kneel down, I will kneel down. Please support me, and just when you support me, when you subscribe, share my video, it just keeps me going. I would really appreciate that. We still have one more video for our series, my 20 and I series, talking about simplicity, which should be coming up very soon. So I'll update you guys on that video. But for now, I want to say thank you for watching this video. I love you, I appreciate you. You have a special place in my heart, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.